Everyone wants to have the body first. They think once I have the energy, once I have the discipline, once I have the mindset, then I'll finally do the work. But that's where most people get it backwards. You don't have your way into transformation, you become your way into it. Because it's not about having more willpower, it's about being the kind of person who shows up when everything gets hard. That's where real change starts. Not with what you do, but with who you are. So, in today's video, we're breaking down what it really means to be, do, and then have, and how this simple but powerful shift can completely change the way you approach your health, your motivation, and your results. Because most people are stuck trying to do more and have more, but they never learned how to become more. We're going to unpack why being is the missing link between short term discipline and long term transformation, why identity beats willpower every time, and how to start embodying the version of you that already lives in alignment with your healthiest, strongest self. So let's dive into what it really means to be, do, have, and the why the order matters more than you think. I know that you're probably wondering, what does being have to do with my health? So just stick with me here. It'll make a lot more sense as we get further into the video. So here's the thing. If you have the perfect diet, if you have the perfect workout, you have the trainer, you have the perfect situation, and you have the motivation or the discipline to get all of those things done, then you probably wouldn't be in the situation that you're in right now, right? And the reason having all of those things, but not being that person that will utilize them to the fullest in their most optimal form, you know, that's not the most optimal way to go at it. Because if you're coming from it at a place where you are not a person that is going to utilize or take advantage of those things that you have, then more than likely what's going to happen is that once you hit your first low period or your first dip, or you're putting in the work but yet you're not getting the results that you're getting or expecting to get over a period of time, you're not going to be in the right place or right frame of mind to continue on. You're not fully ready to utilize those types of tools yet. And just because you have all those things doesn't mean that you're going to know how to use them and know how to utilize them correctly, is what I'm trying to say. It's kind of like you getting all the stuff without even being ready to use the stuff. So that's why you need to be first and then do, and then you'll have the body you want or the relationship that you want or the career that you want. I mean, it's being, doing, and having is a very powerful coaching tool, and that's what we're going to be going over today. But first, I put in context of how this applied to me in my own health journey. I was not being the healthy person because, like, for me, I knew how to work out, I knew how to diet, I knew how to stick to plans and stay motivated, but I just wasn't being that type of person at the time. I was drinking more than I should have. I wasn't eating very good foods for me, and wasn't really sticking or motivated to stick to a workout regimen or a plan at the time because I wasn't being a person that would do those types of things. So the process of being that healthy person is what led me to this point of where I am now, where, or actually, let's take it back a little bit further, was that the process of me not being the healthy person at the time led me to having high blood pressure, being probably overweight, not exercising a lot, and ultimately ended up to me almost being sent to the emergency room because my blood pressure was high and the nurse was not very comfortable with letting me go home. So that's kind of where it starts. And so it didn't really happen for me until I started being that healthy person. Until that's where what led to where I am now, where now my blood pressure is down. I'm currently not on on cholesterol medications. We're still monitoring that. My weight is down. So things that, even though I had the knowledge, I had the skill, and I had the know-how, I knew all those things and I had all those things, but yet I wasn't doing it because I wasn't being the person that I needed to be to utilize those things in the proper way that I could. Right? So this is what most people do. They live in the have, do, be model. They think that when I have the time, the money, the right plan, then I'll do the work and I'll finally be healthy. But the truth is, it never sticks because when your actions aren't anchored to identity, your motivation runs out the moment results slow down. That's where the be do have model comes in, and it changes everything. Now, when you start from a place of being, it shifts your motivation from external to internal, and that's what makes it sustainable. Think about it. Someone who works out just to have a certain body weight might quit when the scale doesn't move as fast as they expect it to. But someone who is an active, healthy person who sees exercise as part of who they are, they don't stop when it's inconvenient. They move because it's natural, it's part of their identity. External motivation is fragile, internal motivation is resilient. And when your habits align with your identity, discipline turns into desire. When you define yourself as a healthy person, you create a powerful feedback loop. Your identity influences your behavior reinforces your identity. Every time you choose a real meal over fast food, every time you take the stairs over the elevator, you're casting a vote for the kind of person you are becoming. As James Clear says, every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Over time, those small votes form evidence, and evidence becomes belief until your actions are no longer forced. They're just who you are. Now, here's the real test. What happens when life hits you with a setback? Because health isn't a straight line. There will be injuries, stress, or weeks where everything feels off track. Someone chasing an outcome sees the moments as failure, but someone who is a healthy person, they see it as a temporary detour, not a dead end. They know who they are, and that identity pulls them back in. That's the power of being. It gives you resilience when motivation fades. Being also shifts focus from short term results to long term vitality. You're not just trying to look healthy for a season, you're becoming someone who will stay healthy for life. And science backs this up. Studies show that having a strong sense of purpose is linked to lower rates of chronic disease and longer lifespans. One Yale study even found that people with positive attitude towards aging lived 7.5 years longer than those with negative beliefs, longer than not smoking or keeping a low body weight. Why? Because identity and mindset don't just reshape your behavior, they reshape your biology. And being isn't just physical, it's emotional. Where your identity includes calmness, mindfulness, and purpose, your body responds differently. Stress hormones drop, inflammation lowers, recovery improves. And most importantly, you enjoy the journey because it's no longer about chasing results. It's about expressing who you already are. Health becomes your natural state, not your goal. And this isn't just philosophy, it's psychology. Research in behavioral science shows that identity is one of the strongest predictors of consistent behavior. When your actions align with your self image, they feel effortless. The self determination theory by Edward Deitch and Richard Ryan proved that intrinsic motivation, doing things because they're meaningful, leads to greater persistence, fulfillment, and long term success than external rewards ever could. In short, if you want lasting change, start with who you are, not what you do. Now, let's clear up some common myths about the be do have model. So, number one, it's not think it and it will happen. So, being isn't sitting around visualizing, it's bodying a mindset that drives action. Without the do, there is no have. Number two, it's not linear or instant. This is a cycle. You be, you do, and then you have. And each phase reinforces the next, and it just repeats. Number three, You don't need to be perfect first. You start being right now with small, consistent actions that align with who you want to become. Number four, it's not selfish. Being includes qualities like generosity, empathy, connection, things that strengthen both health and community. So, how do you actually start being before you do? It starts with one question: who would you like to be if you were already healthy, calm, and strong? I would like you to think about that now. Then ask yourself, what would that version of me do today? Or you could ask it like this: what would that person be doing today? And then go and do that. Eat real food, move your body, breathe deeper, go outside, sleep early. Each action is a vote for your new identity. That's how you become it, not by trying harder, but by aligning deeper. When you shift from doing to being, everything changes. You stop chasing results, you start expressing who you really are. And when you become the kind of person who takes care of your body, your mind, your spirit, you don't have to fight for health anymore. You are health. Don't chase it, be it, and the results will follow. So if you've been trying to have the results, the body, the energy, the discipline, but falling short, maybe it's time to stop forcing and start becoming. Because when you focus on who you're being, the doing becomes effortless, and the results, the having, start to take care of themselves. And this is exactly what I help my clients with. As a life and health transformation coach, shifting their identity from someone who is trying to get healthy to someone who is simply healthy in their mindset, habits, and daily actions. So, if that's something you're ready to work on, building that next level version of yourself from the inside out, check out the description, learn more about my coaching and how we can create that shift together. I'll leave my email down below. And in the next video, we're going to dive deeper into what it really means to become that person, how to embody the mindset, beliefs, and behaviors of your healthiest self now. So your results can finally catch up to your identity. So if this message resonated, hit that like button, drop a comment down below about what kind of person you're ready to be. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next step in the series. See you in the next one.